Hey everybody, Katie Sutton here. I hope you are doing well. I am doing a special video. This is about Hurricane Helene. So, for those of you that don't know, I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I grew up in the mountains of Western North Carolina, and this hurricane that has come through has created an unprecedented amount of flooding and disaster. It's apocalyptic in nature, actually. And I am feeling a little bit helpless that I can't go and support and be there in person to support people because we really are not supposed to be going there. We can't get there. We actually need to get people out of there. And so I'm doing some other things to try to support the community that I grew up in. My parents are in Haywood County, and luckily I finally heard from them on Sunday, and my community in Haywood County has an impact for sure, but they luckily haven't been as impacted as some other areas that have just been completely wiped out. There are thousands and thousands of people stranded on tops of mountains. They need to be airlifted out. They need supplies in these areas. This is a devastating event. And the news is doing, I think, maybe the best that they can to cover this, but they keep saying that it's just centered in Asheville, and that's what they keep talking about. But there are so many smaller communities around that area that have just been completely wiped out. Whole downtowns completely wiped out. We were in Chimney Rock a couple of weeks ago, and every place that we visited downtown is gone, just completely gone. And it's devastating. And for those of you that are maybe a little numb to hurricanes and their impacts because you've lived through so many of them, I have friends in the area that have lived through hurricanes in Florida, and this is not that. This is a completely different kind of event. These people were not prepared. Nobody told them that this was coming. Nobody told them that they needed to evacuate from ridge tops that are away from low-lying areas around water. This is a different kind of event. And so they need a different kind of support, right? And that's not to downplay what's happening in the other regions in Florida and Georgia and other places that have been impacted. There are people that are supporting them as well. What I am focusing my efforts on is the community that I grew up in Western North Carolina, and getting support there. So just know that's why I'm focused in the way that I am. So there are a few things that you can do to help. The first thing that I want to say is that we're going to be doing two donation-based events this weekend. The first is going to be on Saturday night, which will be an in-person event. We're doing a somatic movement and ecstatic dance event at Bright Haven Farm in Huntersville, North Carolina. And all of the proceeds that we collect from the donations that you all bring, monetary donations to register for the event, will go to purchasing supplies that will be directly flown in by pilots that we are in direct contact with that are making drops in the Western North Carolina area. Wendy Mattingly, who is one of the co-owners of Bright Haven Farm, has direct contact to pilots. I have a direct contact to pilots. So those supplies are going to get where they're needed, and we're going to make sure that we purchase the most important supplies that they're running low on. Okay. You can also bring supplies into this event. Sorry, when you go onto the page, you will see, to register for the dance, you will see a list of supplies that you can bring and donate. And Wendy and Valerie have graciously offered to truck those away and send them to the airports where they need to be delivered to so that they can be transported to the mountains. So we've got a whole coordinated effort going on, and it's very organized. We're getting very organized in it. So we hope you can join us on Saturday. I'll post the link to that dance event below this video. I also, for those of you that are not local and want to help, will be posting some other links. Let me go through those now. The first is we're going to be doing an online healing event on Sunday night. One of the things that keeps coming up when I am not able to sleep in the middle of the night, when I'm tuning into the energies of this situation, is that we need to bring healing to the area. We need to bring healing to the survivors. We need to bring healing energy to the land. And we need to help people cross over. One of the things that I end up doing when I travel to places oftentimes is creating portals of light for souls that are trapped that need to cross over. There are a lot of shocked souls that are needing help in crossing over. You don't have to know how to do that. I will lead you through holding the container for that to happen, but that's part of what we'll be doing in this online healing event as well. And I just want to bring support to everyone that needs it. So if you have been impacted by Helene and you have a connection to be able to join us, there will be a Zoom link and you can even dial in via the phone. I'll also be posting recordings online and sending them out to anybody that registers. And if you haven't been impacted, but you can feel emotionally the impact of it and you need help processing that, we'll do that in this event too. So that's going to be on Sunday night, this coming Sunday, which I think is the 6th from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'll post that below this video. I have two other requests of how you can help if you're not local or if you are local but in the Southeast region. So the first is that I have friends and community there in Asheville that need to get out of the area, that need to evacuate. They're trapped on top of mountains, and when they get down off of those mountains and get evacuated, airlifted out, they're going to need a place to go. If you have an Airbnb, you have access to property and you are not using that property, or you have the financial capacity to not rent it for a few weeks to allow people to have somewhere to be. Some of these people have pets and they need places to stay. So if you have a place to stay for some of these people, please message me, comment, and we'll get in contact with each other somehow, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. You can private message me on Facebook or Instagram. On YouTube, just comment and we'll figure out how to coordinate and get connected so that we can connect you to people who need places to go. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, the Operation Airlift for Hurricane Helene that I've been supporting and following their page and connected with some pilots that are working with them, has an Amazon wish list. So if you're somewhere and you're like, I want to actually choose the supplies that go to the survivors, there's an Amazon wish list with priority information on it. I will post the link to that below this video as well. Okay. On an expanded note, besides the ways that you can help and get involved, I do want to talk about the energy of this because that's what I do, right? This is what I bring to the world, is just understanding things from an energetic perspective. And I posted this in a video on my Facebook page and my Instagram a few days ago. But what I keep hearing from Mother Earth is that the Appalachian Mountains represent the masculine. The Apus, the mountains, represent the masculine. This is very old, ancient masculine energy. And the water, the rivers, represent the feminine. And what we are seeing is a flood of feminine energy coming in to wash away misuse of resources and to give the mountains a clearing. Now, that is probably not easy to hear if you're somebody who's experienced this, and it is not a judgment, right? This is something that Mother Nature is doing to reset energy in this area. And I don't think that makes it any easier to process. It is devastating what is happening. It is also bringing people together, and it is bringing love to this community and support to this community and awareness to these communities that are, quite frankly, some of the most resilient people I have ever encountered. I grew up in this area, and every time I go to these small communities, I just witness how they make do with so little. And so this is going to bring focus to some parts of the world that really need to be focused on. And I also can feel that there has been some weather manipulation energy going on in the summer months that has created some super storms. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just wanted to mention that keeps coming through as a knowing. And so there's going to be some things probably that come to light in the not so distant future about what's been happening and how our weather's being controlled somehow. But the primary thing that we need to be focused on right now is how can we help? How can we be of support? And the other thing that I just want to say is that these communities oftentimes thrive based on the tourism that happens in the fall months at peak color season. We are about to move into peak color in the mountains, and these communities are not going to be visited by tourists. And I can see how that's cleansing for the earth, and there's a break that is needed for Mother Earth in that. But I also want to say that the people that rely on that revenue are not going to be getting it. A couple of months from now, when we have forgotten about this as a collective, these people are still going to need our help. So I have that in the back of my mind. I will probably be doing a couple more kind of fundraising type things in the fall and winter months just to make sure that we can keep funneling resources where it's needed in these communities. Some of these communities, they have been wiped out to the extent that I don't know if they will be able to rebuild. I don't know if they have insurance. I don't know how they are going to be able to come back from this. They are going to absolutely need our help. And like I said, they thrive on tourism. And in order for them to reset, they have to rebuild that, right? They have to rebuild the infrastructure for that. This is a very apocalyptic type event. This is a major event. There's so many souls that have been lost. We are not going to know those numbers for a long time, and I don't know if we're going to get accurate numbers on this or not. I am sending everyone impacted by this event so much love, and I'm sending love to all of you that are processing this and witnessing this. Those of you like me that grew up in this area that are dealing with the emotions of this and watching places that you love dearly just be wiped off the map, literally. I know it's not easy. So these are the ways that I'm choosing to focus, help, and bring support. And I'll post a bunch of links below this video if you can help out. One of the ways that you can help out is by liking and sharing this post and getting it to as many people as possible so that they know about this and can choose to support, especially in the local Charlotte area for our events, but also this online event is open to anybody that needs the support. Okay. So let's gather together in community and support one another and love up on one another so that we can get through this together. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.